Hi everyone, I am Sandeep. I am a security specialist at Google Cloud, and my job is to work with customers to help transform their security using the power of the cloud. So cybersecurity, as we have been discussing since morning, is certainly a very important topic when it comes to our personal and financial information. But it is equally important when it comes to securing data that belongs to businesses and our critical infrastructure. So today I'm going to talk about a few examples how Google Cloud can help businesses become more secure. But before I get in there, let's talk about what is happening inside our region. I'm sure there have been multiple people since morning who have emphasized, and it's no surprise to any of us, that APAC is home to the largest number of internet users. And that is not just because of the kind of population APAC has, but also because of the rapid digital transformation that we have been doing since the last decade plus. But the dark side to it is that we are also a region that faces more cyber attacks than any other region. I think the numbers for 2022 says that APAC had 31% of the global share of cyber attacks, which when compared to Europe, which has got 28%, and North America has 25%. We also have one of the lowest cyber maturity in the world, which means like if there is one barometer for cyber maturity, it is the amount of time that it takes from a breach happening to a breach being detected and responded to. The numbers for APAC is 33 days. It is what it takes on an average for an APAC business to detect a breach and respond to a breach, whereas the global average is 16 days. And to make matters worse, we have one of the largest cybersecurity workforce gaps within the globe. So you would ask me why, how is it different today than earlier? Hasn't this been the story all along? I'd say that over the last 10 years, what has really changed is, if you go back 10, 12 years back, we literally had very large and sophisticated players who were involved in cybercrime. They were largely nation-state actors because it required a lot of technology power to execute that kind of cybercrime. And most likely, the people who they attacked, the entities that they attacked, were again governments and very large enterprises because they were small and they wanted to make sure that their motives of cyber espionage is executed against entities which are large enough that are worthy of such attacks. But what has happened in the last 10 to 12 years is that cybercrime has become commercially very interesting. So now there is money to be made in attacks like phishing and ransomware. So when this pivot happened, when people realized that there is money to be made out of cybercrime, that is when it started attracting a lot of people. And then, of course, as technology became more democratized, it became very easy for these bad actors to become potent in executing these cybercrimes. So these, and the other thing that has happened is that these cyber criminals are now targeting companies and businesses of all shapes and sizes. No sector has been spared, no company size, whether it's a small, medium enterprise or a large enterprise, has been spared. In fact, it is much more likely that a small and medium enterprise will not have the kind of tech wherewithal or the resources that it needs to defend against these adversaries. There are businesses who are under tremendous amount of pressure to withstand the kind of cyber crimes that are being perpetrated against them. So we at Google, we asked ourselves, what can we do to help enterprises become more secure? At Google, we have been lucky and fortunate enough to have the kind of resources, engineering talent at our disposal that we have been able to successfully defend ourselves. And we thought that we can do something to help enterprises be more secure. At a very high level, there are two ways in which we do it. First is what we believe is the most trusted cloud platform over there. And while we believe that the best security outcomes can be achieved when you come onto our cloud, we also realize that not every application today is cloud ready, or not every enterprise is ready to embrace the cloud. So we thought, why not bring certain security capabilities to enterprises, irrespective of whether they are on our cloud, on some other cloud provider, or even on premises. Let us start with discussing cloud as a digital immune system. So I've been lucky enough to work in the space of cloud computing for about 6+ years now. And what I've realized is cloud providers are some kind of a digital immune system, because cloud providers like Google, we have created our cloud platform from the grounds up. So whether you look at our fully encrypted global private network, to all of our storage systems that encrypt every bit of data at rest using AES 256-bit encryption. All of this cloud platform has been created by Googlers, and we believe that as an enterprise, when you build your systems on top of a cloud, it's basically like you are building an app on top of a mobile platform which is secure enough. So there is a lot less security worries that you have when you build on top of a cloud platform which is secure by design and secure by default. Secondly, we have also created a lot of technologies that have been homegrown and built by Google engineers that we have successfully used to protect Google as an enterprise. These are technologies that have been battle tested against very sophisticated adversaries, and what we have been doing over the last few years is work very hard to productize these technologies so that these can be adopted by any enterprise, whether, as I said earlier, whether you are on a cloud or not on our cloud. Let me take a few examples. Let's begin with your employees. So if you are a business, as we have been discussing and the panel before me discussed a lot, is that phishing and ransomware are clearly your most important threat vectors that are impacting your employees. What we have shown internally at Google, because this is how all of Google operates today, is that using a combination of 4 core technologies, using Google Workspace that blocks spam and malicious emails, using the Titan security key that blocks phishing and account takeover attacks, using Chrome Enterprise that blocks access to phishing, social engineering and malicious URLs, and using Chrome operating system that is resistant to malware and ransomware attacks. Any enterprise can protect their employees and provide them with a very resilient layer against 2 very common attacks, which is phishing and ransomware. From your employees, I now move on to your customers. So if you are an enterprise that is operating a web or a mobile application, you would have your customers accessing these applications. And any enterprise today that operates a web or a mobile application is facing a real threat in terms of DDoS and web application attacks. Now, all of you would realize that Google has been at the forefront of creating global scale applications, both internet and mobile applications that are used by billions of users. So we believe we have this unique advantage, and we are uniquely positioned to help you with protecting your web and mobile applications against these broad attacks. There are 2 key products that we have in this space. One is Cloud Armor, which is our anti-DDoS and anti-web application defense protection tool. And we have got Recaptcha Enterprise, which is an anti-bot and fraud protection tool. Using these 2 tools, you can effectively ensure that attacks like DDoS and web application attacks are mitigated at the perimeter of the Google's network before it even goes ahead and impacts your applications. Lastly, when it comes to your organization's internal applications and data, I'm sure we live in a world which is characterized by hybrid and remote work. You effectively need a secure yet simple mechanism for your internal employees and third-party partners to access your internal applications and data. But how do you do it securely without the use of a traditional VPN, that we all realize today is not a very secure option? Beyond Corp Enterprise is Google Cloud's offering in this space. It's essentially a zero trust platform that allows entities on your left-hand side, which is your employees, workers, third-party partners, to securely access your applications on the right-hand side, which could be your internal applications either hosted on Google Cloud or hosted on any other cloud provider or even on-premises hosted. Provision this access securely using a tool like Chrome browser, which is something that all of us use on a daily basis. with threat and data protection controls built inside the browser itself. So that was a quick recap of how Google Cloud can help enterprises be more secure. We look forward to making your employees, your applications, and your organization's internal applications and data more secure with the power of cloud computing. Thank you.